Well, by now, everyone probably knows about the new anti-gay law that was signed in Uganda by Yoweri Museveni. Um, was originally called the Kill the Gays law, but I guess they took the Kill the Gays part out of the law, and now you just get imprisoned for 14 plus years. I guess if you are gay or are involved in anything that they consider to be gay or same-sex type activity. And I wanted to give a little overview of how this all came about. So there's this guy, his name is Scott Douglas Lively. He is an American author and attorney who has been actively opposed to LGBT rights in this country and very involved with the ex-gay movement in this country. He is the president of this group called the Abiding Truth Ministries, which is a conservative Christian association here that's located in Temecula, California. And he's the former state director of the California branch of the American Family Association. Back in March of 2009, he and this guy, Don Schimmer, and Caleb Bundridge went to Kampala over in Uganda to give a series of talks there. It seems that the theme of that event was the gay agenda, and it was entitled The Whole Hidden and Dark Agenda of Gays, and the threat that homosexuals pose to Bible-based values and the traditional African family. At this event, there were thousands of Ugandans, including police officers, teachers, national politicians. Scott Lively and his colleagues had discussed how to make gay people straight, how gay men often sodomized teenage boys, and how the gay movement is this evil institution whose goal it is to defeat the marriage-based society and replace it with a culture of sexual promiscuity. The talks back then kind of inspired the development of a private member's anti-homosexuality bill in the Ugandan parliament. The guy who did that was David Bahati. Now, David Bahati's involvement in that as a parliament member is great, because there's other things that he has been involved with that have a United States connection. The U.S. connection as far as the Christian right is concerned. Now, David Bahati put this anti-homosexuality bill, or started putting it together back in October of 2009. He called it a new offense that was being created in Uganda as aggravated homosexuality that should be punishable as a capital offense there. They were going to introduce the death penalty for gay adults who had sex with those of the same sex under the age of 18, with disabled people, or when the accused party was HIV positive, and for those that were previously convicted of some kind of homosexual related offense. Now, this bill actually came about as a result of Bahati's membership in a Christian group called the Family. Bahati at first floated the idea of the bill, which at that time included the death penalty for homosexual assaults. During the Family's Uganda visit, when Bob Hunter, who was a member of the Family, gave an interview in which he acknowledged that Bahati's connection to them, but argued that there were no American associates that supported the bill. Well, we know now that that is not true. with all of that U.S. Christian right involvement in Uganda over the years, that basically pushed the Ugandans to come up with such a bill and then to ultimately pass it. We think, well, how did this happen? Well, there's so much involved in it that you wouldn't even believe it. I mean, this type of thing has been around in groups that have been involved with our U.S. government for a lot of years. For instance, the National Prayer Breakfast. National Prayer Breakfast is something that is done every year. Every president has been involved in it. And it is run by a group called the Fellowship, which is part of the family which David Bahati is a member of. So the connections there are kind of insidious whenever you think about, well, how many people are involved in this? All kinds of people are involved in it, including people in our own government. Even though they are not directly involved in writing the bills and coming up with the wording and coming up with it, all of the things that we contribute to, including aid to Uganda, where the aid comes from, who votes for it, how much aid is given. Senator Jim Inhofe from Oklahoma, he begins his career as the family's most active congressional missionary. He came in there with the political philosophy of Jesus to Africa's oil-rich strongmen. So, you know, you start looking at stuff like this and you go, okay, well, what's the connection to Uganda? Well, I'll tell you. Muscovini's been involved with the group of the National Prayer Breakfast ever since he became the president of Uganda. As a matter of fact, they were very instrumental in helping him get into that position. So there's a lot of involvement from the United States as it comes to the Christian right here, and its involvement in our own government when it comes to National Prayer Breakfast, the groups that are involved with our senators and congressmen. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Uganda's anti-gay bill came about from a direct result of being involved with the Christian right in the United States of America. Anyway, I thought that it would be interesting information for all of you to know. Hopefully you will go and Google this and read up on it for yourself to understand better the connections from all of this to the U.S. Christian right. I'm Rascal Rich, and until next time, I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you again later. Bye.